Hey there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I'd do a bit of a comparison of used parts on eBay. This time we're looking at the best smartphone under 100 Australian dollars. For those of you playing along at home, that's approximately 104 New Zealand dollars, 76 US dollars, 60 pounds or 67 euros. I've got three smartphones on the chopping block today: Samsung's Galaxy S4, LG's G3, and Xiaomi's Redmi Note 2. All of which you can find for under or around about 100 Australian dollars. I'm going to talk about them from oldest to newest and tell you about the important specifications. Samsung's S4 was released in April of 2013. It's got a 5-inch 1080p display, which equates to 441 ppi on this model. The back camera can shoot 13 megapixel stills as well as 1080p footage, I assume at 30 FPS. It's got 2GB of RAM and a removable 2600 mAh battery. It's quite important that the battery is removable because the battery's life is usually less than the phone's life. And if it's removable, you can replace it very easily for, around about $10 on eBay. It weighs in at 130 grams. It has a Super AMOLED capacitive touchscreen with 16 million colors. Its hard drive space comes in 16, 32 or 64 gigabyte models, and the back camera has an f2.2 aperture with an LED flash. The front-facing camera is a 2 megapixel selfie shooter with an f2.4 aperture that can shoot 1080p footage. So a pretty good all-round phone. Nothing really bad to say about it other than it's kind of old and maybe the battery could be a bit bigger considering the competition. Speaking of the competition, in comes the LG G3, released in June of 2014, so quite a bit newer. It has a 5.5-inch Quad HD display, which is 2560 by 1440 or 1440p. Its PPI is a whole 538, which is quite a bit more detailed than 1080. It's also got a 13 megapixel shooter, but this time it can shoot 4K. It also has better RAM at 3GB. Its battery is also removable, but it's a 3000 mAh battery as standard, which is quite nice to see. I do quite like the larger size batteries because I'm a bit of a power user myself. It comes in at 149 grams and has a true HD IPS panel, which means it'll have better color accuracy and you'll be able to view it at better angles. Oh, and it's 16 million colors. It comes in a 16 or 32 gigabyte model, of which the 16 gigabyte model has 2 gigs RAM and the 32 gig has 3 gigs RAM. The 13 megapixel snapper is actually an f2.4 aperture, which means it's darker than Samsung's phone, but it comes with optical image stabilization, which is just awesome for shooting videos. It's got a dual LED flash, and the selfie cam is a 2.1 megapixel shooter with an f2.0 aperture, which is a little bit strange to have a selfie cam with a wider aperture than the back camera, but not too bad at all. It can also shoot 1080p footage. Over to the Xiaomi Redmi Note 2, which was released in 2015, August. It's got a 5.5-inch display, which has a 1080p resolution. It's also got a 13 megapixel and 1080p shooter. It's got 2 gigabytes of RAM and a 3060 mAh battery, which is not removable. It comes in 160 grams and is a dual SIM phone, unlike the others. It's also got an IPS LCD panel with 16 million colors and has 16 or 32 gigabytes of storage. It's got a 13 megapixel shooter with an f2.2 aperture with LED flash, but the selfie cam is a 5 megapixel f2 shooter, which can only shoot 720p. So in a lot of ways, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 2 is similar to Samsung's Galaxy S4. This one probably uses a newer version of Android, which I kind of forgot to write down. And since it's newer, the battery in it will not be as old, but seeming as it's already 2 years old, I don't know, the battery life might not be that good anymore. I should also mention that if you didn't like the LG G3, but you liked the LG series, you could go for a G2, which is marginally cheaper and has a few differences. Instead of it being a 5.5-inch phone, it's a 5.2-inch phone with a 1080p display. It still retains 13 megapixels and 1080p footage, but this time it's got 2 gigabytes of RAM, a LiPo 3000 mAh removable battery, and comes in at 143 grams, everything else being the same. Now that I've talked your head off about the specifications, let me show you a bunch of sold listings on eBay so that we can know what they actually end up at after the auction finishes. Okay, so here we are on eBay, having a look at the oldest phone available. You'll be happy to know that there is a lot of these on the market. Samsung is a very popular brand, so much so that people call Android smartphones, Samsung phones, which is wrong, but yeah, there's always a new one popping up. But unfortunately, since they're a popular brand, there's always someone else trying to buy it. This is why the prices seem to be kind of higher. This one only ended with $60 plus postage, which is actually quite a nice price for a phone like this. And it's just an unlocked smartphone. It's a good price. As you can see here though, this one ended at $100 in free shipping, so only just in our budget, I mean. Here's another one, $73 plus shipping. Another one here, this one's apparently not working. Yeah, so this can only be used in Australia, which might not be a problem for some people, and it came in at $64. Quite nice. Here's another one which is working. $54 plus $8.50 shipping, and as far as I know, yeah, blah blah blah, comes with nice accessories, and it works pretty good. Not bad. Here's another one, $85 plus $8.50 shipping, $82 plus $9.90, $83 plus $15.65, $67 plus $11.18. That's a little bit weird. I did see this phone come up, but this is the only phone I've seen on eBay. It's a Huawei P9 Plus, which is better than all the other smartphones, for $98 plus shipping, which is over our budget a little bit, but if you're willing to wait, you might see another one of these come up on the market. Here's Xiaomi Redmi Note 3, which is the newer variant, which is just a little bit over our price range, but if you could stretch the money, you can get a better smartphone. Here's the Note 2 here, sold for $95 plus shipping. Once again, just a tiny bit over our budget, but definitely close enough to consider. Here's another one for $100 plus shipping. So they're all just slightly over, but they're not that much over. It's only 10% here. Here we are looking at LG G3s, and as you can see, $75 plus shipping. This is a nice working phone. Some of them do go for quite a bit more expensive, but there's also, look, $70 plus 7, $84 plus $8.50, $107 plus shipping, $90 plus 15. If you're willing to wait around a little bit, you should be able to find a good deal. Here's another one, $75 free, $56 plus $7.60, $80 plus 10. So it's not unheard of to find these for under $100 at all. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and if you found this video helpful, then press that like button, consider subscribing, and consider leaving a comment. I do like to read your comments, and if you would like to see more videos like this, then please leave them down below and I'll consider making them. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.